Welcome to Practice Your Positive Daily. Today we're talking about bad days. I know a positivity podcast talking about days. Let's be real. We know it's going to happen. We know that's just how it works. And so if today you feel like it's just not your day, it's just not your week, you're in the middle of a tough spell, you're in the right place. Life has a way of just knocking us out. Sometimes I have the best day of the week and the worst day of the week back to back. It just happens. Being positive doesn't mean everything's perfect. It doesn't mean you're not going to have bad days, but it's important to know how to reset the game, how to get yourself back on track when you do have a hard day, when you do have a hard week. So that's what we're talking about today, how to press reset when things go sideways and get back in the game stronger and better. We talk about this momentum. Positivity has a momentum. Movement has a momentum. Good nutrition, being connected, feeling, spiritual. All of this has a momentum. And you know what? The bad stuff has momentum too. Negativity has a momentum. You know how it is. You're in a rush, you drop something, you stub your toe, the person's rude to you, and before you know it, everything can just kind of spiral. I always think about it like having an armful of groceries, all right? Sometimes you ever do that when you come in from the car, you have like your bags and the kids' lunch and your drink and your phone and your iPad and everything kind of like stacked up, or you're holding it all together, and then, something happens and you spill the whole armload and you have to pick it back up. And that's what happens, right? And so we need to reset. How do we shake it off when we're in the middle of a bad week, when we're in the middle of a bad mood, when we just lose it all and we have to get ourselves back on track? I would say you need a reset with a hard stop. Pause the chaos and reset. Here's a couple of ways that you can do that. Number one, sleep it off. Listen, there's no shame in taking a nap or going to bed early when things are bummy. I get it. We don't want to step into this, like depression or inactivity, but sometimes we just need a good night's sleep. And maybe you're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and you need that sleep, not to avoid, but just to bed yourself down nice, relax. Give yourself that time and space. Have a cup of tea, get fresh jammies out of the dryer, maybe a nice shower, lotions and potions. Care for your physical body. Put yourself to bed nice. Soothe yourself. The number two way to reset the game, listen, just cry it out. Let those emotions move through you. Emotions, energy in motion. Sometimes we just need a good cry. And so one way to reset it is a good cry. It's like a passing thunderstorm. Just let it out. And if you don't cry or haven't cried in a while, you're missing out. It seems like a weird thing to say on a positivity podcast, and you should cry. But seriously, it's a great release. There were years where I was a tough little soldier and did not cry. And then, boy, once I got reconnected with myself, once I reset my nervous system, once I get into a positive life, I cry all the time. And I cried all those tears that I didn't cry during the years that I was too tough to cry. They all came out. Nothing wrong with having a good cry and using that to reset the game when you're in a low place. Number three, get physical. We talk about it all the time on the podcast, but push past the funk with some intense exercise. This is sometimes more than just a gentle stretch. What really works for me is a really tough one. I need a tough run, a boxing session, an ice bath. Get yourself physical and push yourself, right? Push yourself that little bit, get in the pain cave, push yourself, and that hard physical activity can help you reset your brain, flip the switch, and get you out of your funk. Number four, clean the house, clean a closet, clean the garage, pick up trash. Physically tidying up your space, purging junk, cleaning up the planet, picking up things, it can symbolize cleaning up the junk in our minds and our hearts. So clean up. That is another great way to reset the game. Another way that you can reset the game is deep connection. I'm not talking about calling your bestie and just complaining, although maybe that's where it starts, but really getting deep into the why and the how and the what of what is bothering you. Getting deeper there. Find a person, whether it's a family member or a friend, join a support group, vent, laugh, cry, but just be real and keep the focus on yourself. Focus on why it bothers you, what it means about you, what the trigger might mean, why it's so scary, why you feel so down. If you don't have someone to share it with, you can write it out. Journaling can be another huge release. Put the chaos on paper and then leave it there. You can write it down, you can tear it up, you can light it on fire, you can just leave in your journal and then reread it a couple of months when you're feeling better. But get that out, get that deep connection out, even if it's through journaling. And then when it comes to a deep connection, I'm a big fan of physical touch. We're going to talk another episode about that. But hugging, asking for a hug, even snuggling with your pet, snuggling with your kiddo, it reminds you that you're not alone. It brings us into our body. That's so much of what we're doing with Practicing Your Positive Daily. The podcast is tapping into movement, tapping into our bodies as the magic to move our minds. And if you're not feeling the hard physical exercise, you're not feeling the sharing, then here's another one. Slow down. Slow down and stretch your mind and your body. Use intentional slow movement to ground yourself. Something like yin yoga, which is very slow, deep, long held stretches, can reset your mind and body. Meditation, again, quieting the chaos, giving us space from what's bothering us, or breathing it out. I'm a huge fan of breath work. I get a lot of great release and clarity when I do breath work. Try focused breathing. Listen, it doesn't have to be this huge thing. Just a little bit of box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, repeat, right? It calms your nervous system. You can look at Wim Hof or YouTube, but find some breathing as a way to slow you down. All right, so we can think about hard days needing a reset, something that calms the chaos and that shakes you out of the bad place and snaps you back into practicing your positive. So that is the positive of the day. When things feel off, find your reset. Do one thing today, a deep stretch, a deep share, a good cry, clean the house, take a long nap. Do something today when you need a reset. Give yourself that space. That's a positive of the day. Identify and use a reset on yourself today. Even if it's a little move, we're getting those reps in and practicing a reset. All right, team, thanks for hitting the positivity gym with me today. Don't forget, life is messy. Bad days are gonna happen, but they don't have to take over. You can stop the momentum. You have the power to reset and try again. So that's it. Have a great day. Keep your heart open. Keep practicing your positive, and I will see you next time.